Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vickers. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code MASECAM or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man?
Marco, what up, man? How you?
Chilling, man.
Got in a little late. I'm getting dressed right now. Pardon me, America.
It's the dedication, though. You here.
Yeah, you made it.
Niggas ain't get mad at Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers changed 2 times on the show. Before the show start. Stat, you know Mr. Rogers?
Not a lot. I know enough.
It's crazy. Yo, this is getting
You know
crazy.
who he is, though, Stat?
It's crazy about a minute, man.
I don't know why y'all are shocked. What's the shock? What's the
Because I thought Mr.
surprise?
Rogers got played, like, went on for a long time. I don't know when I know. Like you start watching Mr. Rogers probably about 5, so I ain't know Mr. Rogers might die at the time you was born. I don't know. They were disrespecting Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers is pivotal, man. That nigga changed twice. He made me want to get fresh. 2 times on the show, before the show, over, all that. I fuck with Mr. Rogers.
See, I can't even give you a comparison because I just know when I say
See,
when I was watching.
You know why there's some sucker shit? Pardon my voice, everybody. I lost my voice. I said a little bit. But, because they recycle everybody. They ain't get a new Mr. Rogers, but they got new Superman, new Scooby-Doo,
Yeah.
new Ghostbusters. They on Ghostbusters 200. I remember the first Ghost. I hate when I say old, but I do. But Mr. Rogers was pivotal. They remixing everybody else. You know, I sit there and watch Jake from State Farm.
Oh, yeah.
And Jake from State Farm, the original Jake from State Farm was white.
Yeah.
You remember the original?
Barely. Because I seen the black one. I remember the
Exactly.
first, but I mean, that's the difference. Because you even just named Ghostbusters and Scooby-Doo. I was not watching that.
You wasn't watching TV at all compared to what you said. Leave it up to you. You didn't have a TV in your house. You just wasn't randomly watching TV. That's what you told me.
That's fair. But I was watching TV. When I woke up, see, we had Chowder. You guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about. The
Clam
Misadventure-
Chowder?
No, Chowder, like the Misadventures of Billy and Mandy.
Ooh, nah.
You know.
I thought you meant clam chowder.
No, like Adventure Time.
You know who
No.
the Smurfs is?
I know.
Yeah, I know what a
Adventure
Smurf
Time.
Yeah,
is.
because they
I
remixed the
know,
Smurfs too.
Word.
Y'all never heard of Chowder?
Yeah, they
You never
got.
seen Chowder?
No.
I heard of clam chowder, New England.
Not the food. the purple puppet.
A nigga named after Chowder?
His name is Chowder. Or like regular show. The blank faces are cracking me up. Like y'all looking at me like I'm crazy, but that's what I was
Let me see.
watching.
My
Nick
son-
at Night.
We know
Nigga
Nick
Night.
at Night.
Okay,
Nickelodeon
we're
been
getting
around.
somewhere.
Did you do Nick still have the slime?
No.
It's the slime niggas. Pause.
No, they did like a long time ago,
I know.
but
About Voltron.
Because that's when I wanted to go on this show.
I
Voltron.
don't know who that is. Oh, Invader's Zim.
Thundercats.
Yeah.
He-Man.
He-Man?
G.I. Joe.
I wasn't really watching. That's like Power Rangers type.
He-Man, though?
I don't know what that is.
Power
They'll
Grace,
kill you
though.
tomorrow off He-Man. Off He-Man.
Y'all don't know
they'll kill you.
Chowder. That's my one. Y'all don't know Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Silence. This is what I'm talking about. 2 different. And that's fine. That is okay.
Stat, all your cartoons sound Disney.
They're not. That's Adventure Time. Nickelodeon.
What channel? What
Disney,
channel?
58.
What's that?
58.
Cartoon
I
Network.
don't know
Oh,
about
yeah.
Justice League and none of that.
I didn't really watch that.
58.
I wasn't really watching that, y'all.
Yes, I have
As
a
we
frog with my name Minute Mouse, Courageous Cat. Man.
Word up. Ricochet Rabbit.
They only came on for like 8 minutes.
I'm gonna show y'all.
Heathcliff.
They gonna know some of them are gonna know what I'm talking about.
Heathcliff. Garfield.
Who Heathcliff?
Heathcliff, crazy.
She don't know Heathcliff.
She don't know He-Man. She definitely don't know. She definitely don't know motherfucking He-Man. If she don't know He-Man, she definitely don't know Heathcliff.
Yeah.
Look
Y'all
at her
got me.
face.
I don't. Yeah, y'all got me. Okay.
Your mother knew Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, my parents are hip. I just didn't watch that ever. I had my cooking sets. I was making food. I was making friendship bracelets, and I was playing outside. And sometimes I would watch TV. That's all. I have my Polly Pockets, my little cooking thing. Okay, y'all are. Anyways, if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say.
If you know, you know.
Pusha T.
Nobody knows.
Some people do.
If nobody knows, nobody
Some
knows.
people do. And there's gonna be somebody in the comments. You're gonna have my back. That's all I know. Okay, so in the NBA, a lot of injuries have happened at a pretty crucial time. So last night, Jason Tatum actually had a left ankle sprain versus the Kings, but even before then, LeBron just returned from injury. Steph Curry is still questionable to play. He should return versus Miami, but we still don't know. And John Morant hasn't played since March 14th. Meanwhile, the Lakers hold the 4th, Grizzlies hold the 5th, and the Warriors hold the 6th seed. So, Mase, after hearing that, how do you think these injuries affect the playoff picture in the West?
With the injuries, I think it's totally gonna shape who comes out of the West. Right now, it seems like you have OKC up top. You also have Denver, and you have who else is there?
First OKC, second Rockets, third Nuggets.
Houston second.
All right, yeah, I don't really count Houston just yet, but I got OKC. I'm looking at Denver. Yeah, you could put Houston there, but I'm talking about when you start looking at the injuries. The injuries is going to determine if somebody get knocked out the second round or the first round. Without any injuries, it's going to go as promised. It's going to be OKC and Denver, man. And with that being the case, everything stay the same. I think if there are no injuries, the West could be shaken up. Because you're looking at a Lakers team with Luka, and now you got Austin Reeves playing good. It could turn into a really different outcome than we thought. You could be looking at Boston and the Lakers.
Far as the injuries concerned, I think LeBron and stuff is going to be all right. They know what time of year it is. They know when look, it's plenty enough time to sit there and say, look, I know when I need to play and when I don't need to play. And I think particularly for LeBron, the reason that he jumped back in last night for us is because he sees what's happening. When he left, he was in second place. Right now, looking, they're tied for 4th and 5th place with Memphis. And he doesn't want to slip into that playing spot. It gets a real slippery slope from 8th to 6 right now. We got Golden State number 6 right now. And they are only one game ahead of the Clippers and one game ahead of Minnesota. Now, speaking of Minnesota, with Julius Randle on the court, them boys are looking spectacular. Everybody wanted to say, oh, we didn't know if this trade was going to work. We didn't know it was going to happen. Look, everything's not overnight, but I think there's something like 13-1, 14-1 with Julius Randle last 15 games. I could be mistaken, America. I know y'all are real particular with me, but it's something to that nature. And they've been playing outstanding. Another thing, Kawhi Leonard, I was just talking about him last week, saying I don't know what the Clippers are going to look like. I have no idea what's going to happen. He's looking like Kawhi Leonard. They actually had a game against OKC, and it looked like he wanted to throw his weight around and be like, y'all must have forgot they lost that game, but he looked like Kawhi Leonard. And this is the time to look like Kawhi Leonard. The playoffs are coming up. And then we go to his number 6 seed with Golden State. They look like another team with Jimmy Butler on the team, and we're all seeing that as well. Steph Curry, he had a freak accident. Backbone, lower back, probably a little sore, but I don't think it's going to stop him from playing in the playoffs. So when I'm looking at these players, I'll say the two names that I want to say. LeBron James and Steph Curry. They've been doing this long enough to know what their body needs to endure, pause, when to play, not to play, but they will not miss the playoffs. I think right now, everybody is fighting to stay out of the play-in. But the two most dangerous teams to me right now on the rise are the Clippers and Minnesota. That's going to be a tough out for if they stay healthy. Let's keep that first and foremost for Houston or OKC in the 7-game series. We'll see what happens. But everybody else, as far as Ja Morant, we brought up Ja Morant too.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant might be sitting out to get ready for the playoffs. That's why he's sitting out so long. But it seems year after year, if it isn't an injury, Jordan Poole messed him up that year. They was in the Western Conference Final and Golden State won. The next year, he gets the gun thing. Last year, he gets hurt. It seems like when it's postseason, Ja Morant is never around, and if he is around, he's injured. So I hope he's available to play this postseason. I would love to see him play. The last time we got to see him play in the postseason, prior to injury, he looked sensational. And we know that the Memphis Grizzlies is a whole nother team without Ja Morant. One person, me and Sin had this argument. One person can't take a whole team. One person can. Yes, that's how bad Memphis was last year compared to Memphis this year, compared to when he didn't play the year before that, compared to when he's playing. One person makes that much of a difference on Memphis. So hopefully Ja will be ready for the playoffs.
Okay. I just kind of want to add to that because I know you were saying, when time comes around, LeBron will do what he needs to do. Only problem is I feel like Lakers are in a real weird spot because I think they had higher expectations with his return, but they've lost their second straight game with LeBron and Luka on the court because we saw them lose to the Bulls, and then last night we saw them lose to the Magic, which is some concern. So after hearing that, Mase, how do you kind of feel like their next following games will go? You think it's just kind of starting off on a rough patch, or you think that this is something that's might be stationary into the playoffs?
Part of this I do not like because when you see Luka getting 30 and them lose, then it looks like when he's the leader, they lose, and I don't like that. So it makes it look like LeBron got to take over in order for them to win, because when they go forward, they're trying to mesh both of them together where LeBron get his and then Luka get his. But I just said it. In order for them to win, LeBron is going to have to be out front. I don't know if Luka is quite ready to take over that team yet.
Thing about it is that the playoffs are coming up on us really fast. And I just talked about that with in my last take. People not waiting to be patient. And this is a situation where we have the Laker franchise, a historic franchise, and we have 2 first ballot Hall of Famers, one 40 years old, one 25, 26 years old. And we don't have time. When I say we, and I don't mean we, I'm talking about if you're a Laker fan, Laker Nation, Laker front office, etc. Y'all don't have time to wait for this to mesh this year. Now, if we know LeBron is on the timetable and he looks sensational, look like LeBron could play another 200 years if he wanted to. But if we need to make a rush, well, I don't know why I keep saying we, like I'm with the Lakers. But if the Lakers want to make a rush and make a push for the playoffs, I agree with Mase. They need to figure it out. But I don't know if what Mase is saying is necessarily right. I'm not saying he's wrong either. I'm not saying right or wrong. Who knows who needs to be the front leader? They only played 6, 7 games together. 8? How many games have they played together? I thought you said something. Sorry. And the sad part is Laker fans are now waiting because they're the Lakers. And this isn't a situation where it's like LeBron and D Wade, where they had a season to figure it out, to where they went in the offseason and say, okay, you're the leader. This is an in-season trade. You have about a third of the season to play together. LeBron's hurt half the games. Luka wasn't there in the beginning. Luka's getting back in shape. LeBron's back. Bronny, it's a lot of dynamics going on when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'm not saying Mason's right or wrong, but I know one thing for sure. They don't have a lot of time to figure out who's the A or the B side, Batman or Robin, because before you look up and know it, playoffs will be here. Think about this. This month is almost over. We're almost in April. I'm talking about as a calendar year. That's how fast it's going.
Yeah, it's kind of scary because things are breezing by real fast. So I want to kind of ask you guys this as a whole. So taking out LeBron, Steph Curry, and Ja Morant, which team do you think has the best starting 5 / best situation without them?
Best starting 5, I would go with either OKC or Boston.
Well, out of Grizzlies, Lakers, Warriors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Without LeBron, without Steph,
and without Ja.
That's a difficult question. Because I don't like the Lakers without LeBron, and I don't like Memphis definitely without Ja, and the other team you name was
Warriors.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, I would go with the Warriors. Let me go with the Warriors.
Okay, so you think that they have the best situation?
They have
even
the
if
best
Steph is out?
team without Steph. If you comparing them with LeBron without the Lakers, or you're talking about
Ja
without the Grizzlies, yes, because you still got Draymond Green, you still got what's the guy name that I
Jimmy
wish
Butler,
you would play better by
Podziemski.
now? Kuminga.
Okay.
You got Gary Payton Jr. You got
Moses Moody.
Yeah, you got a lot of players on that team that any night could get 20. So I think if you were looking at a team without the star player, it would definitely have to be Golden State.
Okay. And Cam, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I have to agree with Mase. I'm going with Golden State purely off the fact that we know what Jimmy Butler can do in the playoffs. Nothing else. Kuminga doesn't work in this game on the offseason. Moody's a good piece. Draymond's a champion, which is great. You have a walking basket, Jimmy Butler, and it gets elevated when the playoffs come. So to answer your questions, no, Memphis without Ja Morant. No, the Lakers without LeBron James, because you have somebody who's actually dumbing down his game now to play with the Warriors to win, to show that he's not a headache in Miami, to show he's not this crazy dude that wants to take flights to the game by himself. He actually trying to fit in with the Warrior organization, and it's been great. Besides that, you have somebody you can give the ball to and say, get out the way, I need a basket. As much as Andrew Wiggins was a cool piece to have on the Warriors, he's not Jimmy Butler. He's another person. I have a handful of people who I watch year after year after year who don't come back with nothing new. They basically have the same game from the beginning of their NBA career to wherever they're at right now in their NBA career. They do nothing to improve their game because they're good enough. Don't get me wrong. What they're doing is good enough to get them to the league and get a good check from the league. But obviously, they're content with that. And well, I'm not going to throw everybody in the fire right now, but those are the names that come to mind. Andrew Wiggins, great athletic. He gets you 20 from time to time. But could you give Andrew Wiggins the ball and say, move, Wiggins got it, let's go? No, I haven't seen it yet. He's a number one pick. Can't do that. That's why I thought this trade was great for Golden State. And now he's in Miami. And Tyler Hero's the leader of the team.
To that point, though, Andrew Wiggins has helped out the Heat a lot. He has helped us get more points up because I don't know what's going on.
Let me ask you a question, Stat. Who's helped more? Jimmy Butler with Golden State? I just asked the question, Stat.
Of course, Jimmy Butler, but
thank you.
I'm just saying, to our benefit, Andrew Wiggins has helped. Of course,
would you rather have Jimmy Butler back?
Of course. But to keep things positive on the other end, yes, Andrew Wiggins is helping the Heat. This is just an observation.
He hasn't helped them more than Jimmy Butler's helped them.
I was on an 8-game losing streak.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's a fact, Bezo. They definitely was on an 8-game losing streak.
Yeah, how do you help on an 8-game losing streak?
I'm just saying,
Help them lose.
given the trade already happened, the damage has been done. We don't have Jimmy Butler, but at least he's putting up points for us because some people.
Y'all are 30 or 41.
I didn't say we're at a good spot. I just said he's putting up points for us, which is good because Tyler Hero has been slacking a little bit in the past couple of games too. That's all I'm saying. Just an observation.
I think you might be racist.
This comes up like every other month. She's racist.
I think you are.
Elaborate.
Because you don't like the fact that Tyler Hero is the leader of that team. You don't like the fact that Miami University has a new white quarterback. And you're not cool with his girlfriend either. Anything black, I'm cool with black on black. I love black. Well, I'm not racist like you. I believe you're racist.
That's crazy.
No, I just don't like Carson Beck for Miami's situation. I have no problem with Tyler leading the team because I think he deserves that. He's a representation of Heat culture. I'm just saying Andrew Wiggins has done a pretty good job while being on the Heat.
What's the problem
That's
with the
not
new quarterback?
To take away from Tyler.
What's the problem? New quarterback.
He had some injuries. I didn't know how he was going to fit with our situation. There was the whole debacle saying that he moved there for his girlfriend. Turns out him and the girlfriend broke up. There's a whole messy situation. I don't like that. I just want it to be about football. That's all.
Stat likes white guys killer with soul.
Also,
she like
this is
Justin
a whole nother thing that I never said.
Robert
Okay.
Dix and Pause and John B's. The white boy got sold. She like it.
I don't think so, Murder. This is what I think. This is what I think. I think Stat likes black niggas who's black, and she like white niggas who don't act black. So if you white and you act black, then she ain't fucking with you. But if you're white and stick to your culture of being white, she might fuck with you. That's what I think. I don't think she fucks with the white
That's
niggas.
crazy.
The white niggas who act
He's
black.
very right.
Yeah, that's what, thank you.
He's very right. I just want you to be you.
Yeah.
I don't like cosplaying.
That's why when homeboy
That's
came in here with
crazy.
the braids, talking about what up, baby, with the white
She
dude.
ain't like that. It
She
was
ain't like
too
what
much swirl in there.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Stat, real quick.
Okay.
And we all family. I'm not asking on
Yeah.
no dating shit and
Yeah.
no shit like that. What you think about Nick? Because Nick is white, but he got black tendencies.
Yeah. Business is business.
No, but I'm saying, do you think he acts black or do you think he's himself? Nick.
I think Nick very much acts himself. I do not think
Do you
Nick
think he
tries to
acts
act
white
black.
though? Do you think he acts white or black?
Nick acts like a white man because he is a white man and he doesn't try to be nothing that he is not. That
Nick
is
fuck
him.
with the black girls though.
Yeah.
That is
Anywhere black people sneak is hard body.
Nick like the black girls, Nick like the Hispanic girls, Nick like the culture girls, and that's Nick. So,
So
I
you
just
saying
wondered
Nick is a thought?
Yeah, I was just
I also
wondering.
didn't say that.
I'm not saying he is. I'm asking.
I'm just saying Nick.
You said he
is-
like Spanish, black, white. He just all over the place.
Nick ain't
all over the place. A baddie's a baddie.
Nick ain't
Okay.
Nick ain't really white though.
Nick.
Nick is Greek. Nick is Greek, but you see, this is what I'm trying to say. You know why I don't consider Nick white like that? Because you gotta think about, when I had Thanasis, Giannis' brother here, when the nigga came in, him and Nick had a whole conversation in Greek. Like they wasn't even speaking English to each other. And Nick speaks like super duper fluent Greek. And I consider Thanasis and Giannis black, but he the same one as them niggas. So he's a light skinned Greek.
Where you know? Didn't know that. But
Yeah.
yes, to Cam's point, I just think you need to be you. I don't like the whole let me get around black people and start using certain terms and start talking about certain products. I don't like that.
When
It
nigga
makes
be like,
me uncomfy.
What's up, my man?
Like none of that. None of that. I'm not even down with the braids. Like, please.
You don't like black guys who act white either.
I don't want you cosplaying as something that's not you. I just want you to be
What
you.
if he grew up in a
That's different. If you
white
grow up in that
culture?
situation, that's you. That's what you know. But I feel like putting on like a side of you that I feel like isn't you, because I just feel like I can see through that. And then if I go see your family and it's very like, oh, she's I don't want none of that. So that's all. Okay, so tonight the Warriors will play the Heat. Steph Curry is projected to play in this game. Underdog has him at 22.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
higher.
I'm gonna go low. I think they're gonna monitor his minutes.
Okay, Jimmy Butler's at 5.5 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
I'm gonna go higher. He play the Heat. He gonna go the fuck off.
Yeah, I think actually that's why I said higher. I think Steph is going to show up and try to go crazy to help Jimmy Butler get that win. So I'm actually going to go higher on this also.
Okay, and Andrew Wiggins is at 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
I'm going to go higher. Since Wiggins, he's in Miami, I don't know how it's going, but I think he'll try to go off on against them as well.
Points, rebounds, and assists should be higher.
Okay. Make sure y'all download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. So right now the Mavs are currently the 10th seed at a record of 35-37. They're one game ahead of the Phoenix Suns after beating the Nets 122-101. Mase, do you think the Suns can surpass them?
They better be able to. I mean, you still got Katie, you still got Book, and you still got Bradley Beal. That's supposed to mean something. They definitely got to get past them, because right now the Mavs don't even have Kyrie. They don't have Anthony Davis. If you can't pass them with those three players, that says a lot. That says a lot. I think for sure. I'm gonna go on a limb and say for sure they'll pass the Mavs in that 10th spot.
Well, right now they're actually in a tough spot. The Mavs are in the 11th spot right now as we're currently looking. But cause they have the same record, but I believe Phoenix holds the tiebreaker. Mase hit the nail on the head. It's really sad that both these teams are under 500, to be totally honest with you. These teams aren't even 500. And I really can't say more than what Mase said. The three names that he named should at least have you in the third, fourth spot minimum. Or we just might be looking at one of them situations where this team doesn't mesh together. We thought without Bradley Beal that this team would be crazy. It wasn't. They added in Bradley Beal, and it's just not fitting. Pause. But should they be in the tough spot? Absolutely. I'm trying to think of something else that Mase didn't say. Kyrie's not playing. Anthony Davis is not playing. I don't even want to see Dallas play the rest of the season. I don't want them to make the playoffs. No disrespect, but we know Kyrie's not coming back this season. I don't want to see them without Kyrie. Luka's not. I really don't want to see them without Kyrie. What I'm hoping happens is that these motherfuckers talking about the Phoenix Suns make the plan and catch fire. That's the best thing that we can hope for right now. Make the playoffs, catch fire, because it's been a disappointing 2 to 3 seasons as we speak. You know what I'm saying? And it's just too much talking over there. I watched some games with them, and I could be totally wrong, but when I'm looking at it, the body language is saying, I wish this motherfucking game would be over so the season could be over and the days fall off the calendar quicker. That's what I see when I see this Phoenix Suns play. A team that's mentally tapped out, don't want to be there, but never know. Once you make them playoffs, it could be a different story. So hopefully, my opinion, yeah, I mean, shit, I want to see Dallas, especially a Kyrie and Luka Dallas, this Mavericks. Like, I was hoping Kyrie in the playoffs. I might have been like, nah. But nah, I don't want to see these niggas.
Yeah, and Clay had 8 against Brooklyn. It's wow. I mean, with everybody missing, Clay should be going at least 18, 20. He should be getting at least 18, 20. So I'm with you, Killer, on I don't want to see Dallas.
Yeah, I really don't.
AD had his return too. He had 12 points, 6 rebounds.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about Klay Thompson. He's trying to get back in the swing of things. Pause. But when you look at Klay Thompson, this is ridiculous, bro. I mean, they gave him another chance after Golden State. Like, bro, if you're not gonna ball, get out the way, bro. For real.
And earlier, Murder, not to cut you off, but these are the part of the people that I said I didn't want to throw in the fire. The people that's not working in their game, the offseason. Klay Thompson is such a good shooter, or was such a good shooter, that he doesn't work in his game in the offseason.
It's the headband, Killer.
No,
it's the headband.
No, it ain't
he
just
stops
it's
wearing the
just not
headband,
the headband.
he'll be playing better.
No, what I'm saying
I hate
is
the
this.
headband.
I'm not disagreeing with the style. I'm disagreeing with a nigga who can't do this and get a nigga off of him after 14, 15, 16 seasons. He could just take 2 dribbles and shoot. Get it, shoot. And listen, that's a gift a lot of niggas ain't got. But you ain't take 2 summers and say, yo, give me one of these. And then give me a dribbling coach. Because imagine if Klay Thompson had get off me moves, get out the way moves.
He's there with Sham.
Yeah.
He not working.
That makes it
Sham,
worse.
now we gotta blame you. now we gotta blame Sham. This is what I'm talking about.
He's trying not to blame.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking Sham. Sham may not had a summer with him yet.
Nah, Sham ain't had no summer with him.
Yeah, but
he around Kyrie and Sham. You gotta get something.
But what I'm saying, I'm gonna give him the benefit. This only benefit now, and it may be too late because he's getting older. It may be like, oh well, I just was a shooter. But you're absolutely right. Shamgar and Kyrie
and Jason Kidd
and Jason Kidd. And but he ain't been there. He might have got there for training camp. Yeah. What I'm saying is this: when you see certain niggas in the summer working out, you see LeBron at the gym, you see Russell Westbrook running up fucking sand mountains, you see KD taking a month and a half just working out. You see certain niggas working out, and you could tell the niggas who don't, I'm gonna just go to the gym and get up 100 shots a day and get out of there. We know you can shoot. Get a nigga on. Look, tonight, put me in the game with the Wizards Nigga better not run up on me. I'm telling you that. A nigga better not run up on me. I see Murder still got it too. Don't run up. This could be dangerous. I'm not saying that 48 minutes. I'm not saying 2 quarters. I'm not saying I'm gonna have 100 points. Do not run up on me, bro.
Do not smack the floor like you got.
Start clapping it.
Do not run up here acting like you're about to steal the basketball. I don't care if you Bruce Bowen. I don't care Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
I don't care Tony Allen. Do not run up on me, bro. Tonight. Not old Cam.
Yeah.
Old Cam. Tonight, do not run up on me when I got the basketball. And I got a problem with niggas who can't get 2 moves to get a nigga up off them.
Okay.
Pause.
The Cavs, are they back on track? We'll discuss after the break.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free. Why am I here this woman way free?
Welcome back. So the Cavs finally snapped their 4-game losing streak after beating the Jazz 120-91. So Mase, on a scale of 1 through 10, how concerning are those 4 losses to you, given that the Cavs are first in the East?
I would say about a 7, and if they lose again, it'll jump to 9. Because when you're a team like the Cavs and you've been playing this good, the last thing you want to do is start declining as you're going into the playoffs, because it makes it look like you guys have hit a mental wall. You know what I'm saying? There's something about people that achieve greatness. They have a mental fortitude that they can consistently do something over and over again. I think that's what separates all the greats from the goods and all the goods from the average. People that are average, they could do something great and then they vanished. And somebody good, they could do it repeatedly, but when you really need it, you might not get it every time. But those that are great, they find the fortitude to get it done. Even if they have an off quarter, they don't have an off game. And that's what the Cavs is trying to get to. And these are the games you have to win to be a great team. And to have a great season, that's what they're going to have to do. That's why it's a 7-game series. The teams that win are the teams that can do it over and over again. You make an adjustment, I can make an adjustment. You make another adjustment, I can make another adjustment. And the teams that are good, they make a few adjustments, win a few games, but then come short in Game 7 and Game 6 because they don't have it. So with that being stated, I will keep them at a 7 because this is not the time to lose. I would have rather them lose a little bit earlier and start getting major wins right now to go into the playoffs as winners, because it make you start questioning, were we really as good as we started?
Yeah, listen, one thing about what I'll say about the Cavs is this. I don't want to put them in that boat that Mase has necessarily put them both in. But he's right. I can't disagree with him. But Kenny Atkinson has been playing with the lineup all year. I would like to know, and I'm not asking you to do a stat, but I would like to know who didn't play in the 4 losses. Because one day Donovan Mitchell's not playing, one day Mobley's getting rest, and I think it's a method to his madness leading into the playoffs, my personal opinion. But the whole season, he's been playing the lineup, and then after 10 games, Donovan Mitchell is magically sitting down. Garland is sitting down the next game. This person's sitting there. Then they'll get another 10-game run. Or everybody. Then they'll sit them down. If we'll see what happens. Either he's a mastermind, genius, or he's a dickhead. Pause. We're going to see what happens when the playoffs start. Because what Mase said is actually correct. You want to have momentum going into the playoffs. But I wouldn't think too much of it. I think the teams lose, but like I hate agreeing with Mase this much, but this isn't the time for that. This really isn't the time for that. But I will say this: worse than a 4-game losing streak, the Cavs have 10 games left. They're 4.5 games ahead of Boston. Don't have this good season and lose the number 1 seed. I'll say that to you. That's what I will motherfucking say to the Cleveland Cavaliers, because last time you looked, they were up. It didn't look like anybody was going to catch them. If you looked in the rearview mirror, you saw clouds, dust, nothing behind them. Now you look in that rearview mirror, Boston like, hello, hey, remember us? And it's 10 games left. It's not a lot of games left. You should close out and finish strong. But to Mace's point, he's correct. But let's see if Kenny Atkinson has a method to his madness.
And then really quick to that point, given their lead against Boston, Jason Tatum did suffer that injury last night versus the Kings. So that's still, we don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but to the Cavs' favor, which is obviously very unfortunate for the Celtics and Jason, something, I don't know, might be there that kind of has that space between the two still. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm hoping nobody gets hurt. I want to see these players play. So it's unfortunate that all these injuries keep happening.
But if they lose this lead of being number 1, the first seed, they're not gonna beat Boston. They definitely gonna need home court advantage to beat Boston. So this is not the time to be rolling the dice.
Yeah. Okay, so Brandon Jennings called out some players, specifically in the 2009 draft class. He said, only reason Drew Holiday made it to the All-Star team over me was because Doug Collins was a dick rider sending fruit baskets telling people to vote for Drew. I want to play Jeff Teague, Ty Lawson, and Lou Will one-on-one. I'm cooking them. I'm a franchise guy. Fans had my jersey in Milwaukee. They had none of that. So, of course, this is a longer rant, but those were some of the key things that he had said. Ty Lawson basically chimed in and said to Brandon Jennings on his show, bruh, you was cool, but you wasn't nicer than me in the NBA. So basically, Brandon Jennings was trying to start all these 1v1s. Lou Will actually accepted the challenge. But just hearing that, what do you think of Brandon Jennings' claims?
I like Brandon Jennings. I like his game. I like, being a smaller, crafty guard. I think he has a lot of points that he's making, but he just started off wrong. You can't shoot rocks at Titletown. You just can't do that. We the whole LA love you, but bro, championships are championships. What's his name? Drew Holiday. Mm-hmm. He did what you weren't able to do, and that was get a ring for the city of Milwaukee. So I think when you're not able, hey, people are waving. When you're not able to get that kind of championship for the city, your name means something different to those fans when it comes with a championship. So even though he was great out there, he went on to do other things. Everything you said was great. Just leave Drew Holiday out of it. Drew Holiday is a 2-time champion. That's not the guy to talk to. And I just hate when people do that. I think there should be conversations that people can have, and there should be a limit of who you could talk to. Like, yo, you can't talk to him. There should be somebody's job to just tell people, you can't talk to him. Not right now. Like, if Tatum wins another one, then we don't get to talk about Tatum. You know what I'm saying? He's 2-time champion. He's from Titletown now. And, well, that's going to be my job. I'll take that job. Brandon Jennings, you cannot talk to Drew Holiday. Now, it's cool with you doing the one-on-one with Lou Will, but I don't think you could beat Lou Will. I'm going to just go on the record. I'm not a betting man, but if I had money to bet, because I don't have money for that, I would say you can't beat Lemon Pepper Lou. Now, them other niggas, you might have them. But you ain't got Lemon Pepper Lou.
So he don't got Lou and he don't got Drew.
You don't got Lou and you don't got Drew. Okay. That's my take.
Okay. Cam?
I like Brandon Jennings' attitude. I think personally, if he offered the one-on-one, Lou accepted it. Let me put the game up. We have a one-on-one game coming up. Not we. It's a one-on-one game coming up. Lance Stevenson against Mike Beasley.
Mike Beasley.
That's going to be you know why that game is going to be so good is because Mike Beasley is one of the one-on-one players. He's a dog. but Lance Stevenson's entertaining. He's gonna make it's a dog versus somebody who's very entertaining that's good at basketball also. I used to do one-on-one games actually, and I'm kind of the leader of the pack. So Brandon Jennings and Lou Will, if y'all want to do it, let's talk, and I'll get the promotions, I'll get us the money, I'll get us the bread, and I would love to put this game together. Pardon me. If you're serious, I know Brandon Jennings is serious. I believe Lou Will is serious too. But for Brandon Jennings, I think a lot of people forget his path. I think that people forgot that he was one of them niggas who was like, I ain't going to college. Y'all go to college. I'm going to go overseas and grab 1.5 million tax-free money because y'all motherfuckers don't have the opportunity to have. He went pro from high school overseas because he didn't want to sit there and it wasn't no NIL. So he went and grabbed a bag. Then the next year he came. Brandon Jennings, I don't know him personally, but he just reminds me of one of them people that's very, very good who, and don't take this the wrong way if you've seen this Brandon Jennings, who's a head case, because I was a head case. Somebody who thinks they know more than everybody, and it probably limits your play because you're telling the coach something, or you don't get along with the players, or you think you're better than what you are. And you're nice. Don't get me wrong. I think you're very, very good. But it looked like that's kind of where your career went because you're going to play longer than you actually played. I just think that you're outspoken, you're loud, and there's nothing wrong with the things I'm saying. That's why my mother used to always tell me, Kim, it's better off that you did music because basketball wouldn't have worked out. You don't like listening to nobody. You don't like being told what to do. You have a problem with authority, and this was the route for you. Yeah, maybe you're right. You possibly could be right. But Brandon Jennings gives me those vibes, and I could be wrong. Somebody could say, Cam, that's totally opposite of what he is. But at the end of the day, I'm just going by what I kind of see. And even after even his soliloquy that he went off with, because I seen the actual statement, he was going off, they can't fuck with me. Them niggas went to college, nigga, I go in and grab the bag. They ain't have that option. I like his attitude personally. True and Mase said, Drew Holiday, yeah, Drew is a two-time champion. Drew actually, to me, was the one that, and not just two-time champion, he's Olympian also. Just left the Olympians.
Drew will lock him up.
Yeah, but that's, one thing for sure, two things for certain. The one thing that beats great defense is better offense. Brandon Jennings could shoot, and he can dribble, and he's all right. I would love to see that game, actually. I'll put the money up myself out of my pocket.
Okay, and real quick, switching gears to football. This is actually a pretty sad case. So Chiefs rookie wide receiver Xavier Worthy filed a lawsuit against his ex-fiancé Tia Jones, saying she fabricated domestic violence allegations in an attempt to extort his home, money, cars, and other valuables and damage his reputation for personal gain. He claims that in February, he asked her multiple times to leave his residence after he discovered she had been unfaithful. He said he also offered to find her an apartment nearby, but she refused. So Mase, kind of what's your take on this situation? And I know we talk about a lot of different athlete stories and don't get too much into depth, but like, what would be your advice for this young man kind of in this role, considering that he just kind of entered the league?
Yeah, I really think when it comes to situations like this, that we really have to get some new laws, right? Because you can file a lawsuit on a person and get the money back or things like that, but there got to be some greater measures taken. Like if you steal money from a bank, that's called fraud. If you did something else, that's called fraud in that same line. But when it comes to men or women taking money from each other in relationships, we don't call that fraud. I think we got to start applying that law to these type of relationships because people are messing people's lives up, and people don't hear the second story. They don't hear the revision. Most people only hear what they heard first. People don't do the research to know that the person was lying on you or this is not actually correct. The first way people see it or the first way people hear it is the first way they think of it. And I think it does too much damage to a person's name, to their brand, to their likability, and all of the things that come with a person to just let somebody mess that up because they wanted a house or they wanted some money for some bags or they wanted a girl trip. I think we definitely need new laws to protect the innocent at all times.
We need some smarter niggas too.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all niggas be thinking these bitches like you. They don't. They like what you can provide. They like that you scored a touchdown. They like that you tackled 17 niggas last week. They like that you threw a touchdown. They like that you could dunk a basketball. They like that you could run the 40 in 3.9 seconds or whatever the fuck. Y'all niggas gotta know who like you and who don't. And it's really hard for athletes. And when I say it's hard for athletes, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you, it's really hard for athletes because, damn, I'm trying to think how to word this correctly because me and Mase are inner city kids.
Yeah.
And when I say inner city, you get so much with being an inner city kid that you don't get if you live in the suburbs and you good.
Yeah.
You know, like it's yo, and I really wanna, I wish this was some way I could put you in it, pause, like living in, what's that town you said, Georgia, Athens?
Athens.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there but football, you said.
Nothing.
And living in New York City.
Yeah.
And y'all both star basketball players. So Athens, and I'm no disrespect to Athens, I'm just going off of a rural area. I'm just trying to think of a rural area. You go to school, you got your homecomings, your parties up for school. You go meet each other at the movie theater, whatever's going on.
Bowling alley,
shit like that. But
the
fair, exactly, shit like that. And you're the star because you're the star athlete for your school and off season or whatever. When you grow up inner city Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Detroit, pardon me if I'm forgetting some cities, it is not just basketball and fairs. It is crack. It is shootouts, deaths. Every bitch coming at you because you fly and you the basketball star, the football star, and you don't trust them at 11.
Yeah, trying to get a baby at 14.
See, like
she know you going to the league.
Right. At 14, they own you at 12, 13. Listen, I'm gonna get the name of this documentary for y'all. And football, NFL football coaches have classes on this before they get to the NFL. Be aware of everything. I've seen part of it to where they like, tie your condom up, watch it be flush, everything. They teach these kids this, and they don't listen because they like, nah, she different. Nah, it ain't like that. It ain't like, look, I got personal information from college, players, coaches, staff, and the schools don't need to be named, I'm talking about, to how disappointed they are in their players. From the coaches down on, because now college players are getting money, and their players is tricking off, and the coaches is losing their motherfucking mind because they know a good female from a female who wants something from
Sally got a Range Rover.
Right, exactly. Not just that murder. That murder, it's past, niggas is buying houses in college. Not just that. Tell her, yo, if you want Mama Love, come move in. Serious, yo, bro. Yo, like you said on one of your songs, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. But and the story a little bit too. But yo, they moving families in, man. This shit is wild, man.
Simping is out of control.
Yeah, totally. But if you don't know this because you grew up in a rural area, and this is what you used to, you can't really blame them that much. I seen a clip, and I know he's making fun of it. Maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, because I remember Mike Irvin was up here. Jaden Daniels is sitting somewhere. Yeah. And his mother must have went up to go somewhere, and a girl came and sat in his mother's seat while she got up. And she's talking to him, he's smiling, this, that, and the third. Boy, that boy mother came back and moved her away and was like, not here. You seen this stat what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen that, but that just happened with Juju Watkins because Jaden and Juju were sitting watching the games, and then the mom came back.
Oh, that was Juju Watkins?
Well, this just happened like this weekend, so I don't know if you're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Juju.
I didn't even know it was Juju. I just was looking at mom like, really? So yeah, now I think about it was the budget. Juju, mom, really? Juju? They can't slide Jew. You know Jew getting chicken. Hey, listen, man. But that's a mother being protective.
She said, "I'm protecting my plan."
Yeah, I'm not mad at
I
her.
don't know what Juju do.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you what Juju. I didn't know that was Juju Watkins. But the point being is, that's great. But when do you let him grow up and figure out what's going on? And that's going to be hard because your mother's protecting you so long against this that what you don't want to do is find that right one and then have to turn against your parents, which happened with Kobe Bryant, to where he didn't speak to his parents for most of his adult life because he picked a female that they didn't like. It's going to be tough, but as far as this situation that we're referring to, I don't know this guy that well. I don't know what happened. Mase said everything correctly. It does need to be laws or something to the point to where if it doesn't go right, what's going to happen to her? It's like, for instance, right, female, God forbid, or whatever, sit there and say somebody raped her, but maybe lying. And like I said, this is all fictional. And then she admits that she's lying. But there's no penalty for that when you could have just ruined somebody's life. And maybe, and that was always a question for me, Murder, is like, maybe it doesn't need to be a penalty because maybe if that's the situation, they'll never tell the truth. Yeah. Like, if I got to go to jail, then I'm just sticking to this. It's really tough, but I feel bad for the athlete that hasn't been around a lot because they've been that nigga since they was 10, 11 years old in rural areas.
Yeah, and that and my understanding about what the law I'm saying is not for the people who something actually happened but they weren't convicted of it. I'm saying for the people that you can prove they made this whole thing up. That would be totally different than somebody just saying it, because what you're saying is right. If somebody just said, "Oh, this person did this to me," and it's a discrepancy with the story, that's different than you getting a recording that she's on the phone with her friend, like, and you say this, because I'm going to say that, and we get this much, and I'm going to pay you this much. They should both go to jail.
Yeah, I'm just going to add because, okay, I know like we joke about me like not knowing some things and all that, but like one thing I do know is my Black history. And this just frustrates me because I know this is like deeply rooted and it's not the same situation, but I just feel like specifically the Black man has went through so many trials and tribulations with lies that never had to be said, even down to Emmett Till. You know, the lady was saying, "Oh, he catcalled me," whatever. And that resulted in him literally getting lynched. And I know, again, that's an extreme situation, but this has happened from the beginning of time. So it just frustrates me when these stories come about because I think that people should be able to reach a certain level of success. Like, he was a rookie. He's only 21 years old, wide receiver for the Chiefs. That's like a dream situation for anybody wanting to get drafted. I'm assuming he thought he met the love of his life. And then for somebody to turn, which I'm going to say is evil in this situation, and try to take everything away from him, including his reputation, which we know your reputation is the one thing that you can't mess up because that follows you for life. It's frustrating because if Xavier Worthy didn't file a lawsuit, we wouldn't even have known any of this was happening in the back end, which of course trial and everything still needs to happen and, you know, innocent until proven guilty, whatever. But clearly to get to this point, it's a bigger situation than that, which is also why I love bringing up these stories, because I want you guys to be able to speak to specifically the youth, because again, these people are my peers, right? And I can only say so much as an outside source looking at seeing what's happening and seeing what people fall for. And I think there's a difference between like understanding who you're going to, you know, commit life to, because this is now his ex-fiancé, versus who's just a good time, and then just making sure to protect yourself within those spaces, especially as you level up in success. So I'm hoping, you know, the right thing happens in the end, because this is just a very unfortunate, frustrating situation where these claims started with everybody kind of in his comments like, "Oh, you're going to pay, you domestically abused this woman whole time this was happening on the back end." And it's a problem because it keeps happening. And like you said, Mase, there are no protections for people in these spaces. So it's like, how do we kind of move forward from
Did it come out that he did abuse her?
No, this is still, you know, being talked about, but that's his lawsuit claims, and now people are going to her. But if he didn't say anything, they would still be on his
Yeah, and even sometimes when you have to, people always say, "Why don't you sue this person?" If a person doesn't have anything, what are you suing them for? Actually, if you And that happens to celebrities a lot. Somebody could be lying on you. You could sue them for defamation or whatever you want to sue them for. But if they don't have anything, you're really just spending money to clear your name, but you're not going to get any of the money back that you lost from endorsements. You're not going to get that time back. So you're really just paying to pay at that point.
Yeah. In the end, I just hope everything gets figured out because I hate these stories. They're very annoying. And back to Cam's point, this is why specifically Jaden Daniels' mom is such a protector because she sees what's going on out here.
Yeah.
And not even as a mother, you could just see it as a peer. It's a lot of craziness, a lot of shadiness, and you got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself, you got to protect your money, and you got to protect your peace. Those three things start getting messed up, you got to leave it alone, you got to go. And that's that. Okay, so last thing, the Giants signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Mase,
Okay.
do you like this for him?
Jameis Winston, I don't know what to say about this. This is Cam's guy.
How's my nigga? How you figure that?
You said he's motivational.
I'm trying to get him for next season to come on the show. He good talker. He know football. I don't know what that got to do with him being the quarterback for the Giants. How's my nigga?
I thought he was your guy.
You got the giant blue glasses on, Mase.
This is Florida blue.
Oh, okay. My bad.
The Magics. The
Wow,
Gators.
Magic.
Can't go against the crib, you know?
Can't go against the crib.
Last thing I'll say is I don't want to talk about Jameis Winston today, and I think, me personally, last thing I'll say before the show is over, and I think Stat is wild disrespectful for not even starting the show off with this, but prayers up for Juju, man. She had a real gruesome injury last night. USC went on to win anyway. I was looking forward to that matchup between her and Paige Beckers, man, but I'm really, really, really sad, and I hope that she recovers quickly. I don't know if it's going to be quick enough to get to the next game, but shit, that was really, really bad. So prayers up for Juju. I'm rooting for you, girl, and I hope that you're all right.
Yeah, we definitely hope she's doing better.
Okay, and confirmation, she suffered a torn ACL. I like to get the confirmation, so I didn't say anything yet, but it is announced.
Damn, man.
So
Fuck.
Yeah, they gotta protect these athletes better.
Start
Get
wearing
them
high
some
tops.
high tops,
Zach,
right?
let's start wearing
That's
high
the
tops.
first thing I thought when I saw it. Like, man,
It ain't the athletes. I mean, definitely the athletes, but it's what's fashionable
yeah.
to the modern athlete. I went to the NBA, a few NBA games, and it wasn't one nigga with high top, not one. Not one nigga be like, I'm doing what I got to do. At all 10 niggas, substitutions, everybody, even the nigga Shay, had low cuts on, and Shay had Converse.
Yeah.
So
Last one I wore high top was Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, or at least mid, you know, where like Chris Paul sneakers be, they underline the ankle to where, because once your foot is landed, that's what happens. If it lands wrong and your foot goes one way, then your knee is gonna go another way. And that lack of stability always cause those injuries. People watch Steve Nash when he was wearing low tops, but Steve Nash had on probably 2 pounds of tape.
Kobe.
You know, and then Kobe did it to his ACL.
yeah, the reason why niggas is doing it, murder, and to me is just two totally different things. They not trying to jump out the gym, but I seen when Kobe started wearing low tops, and he says the soccer players cut more than basketball players and do all this, and all the soccer players were wearing low tops too. So I don't know why the new plea, but that was Kobe's reason.
Yeah.
For having, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the reason. Steve Nash, remember, he was running all around everybody, throwing passes. People like, oh, I need to wear low tops.
yeah.
But not laughing at her situation. I really hope she get well fast.
Yeah, definitely prayers up for Juju. Not the news we want to hear. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs. Like when they doing them 2 for $5.